So boys, that's about it. After more than a year, the VanillaPLUS series came to an end with the 5th and the final episode, as promised. In this video we'll cover 40 mods, ultimately wrapping up the 200 mods. For the full ModPack, however, there will be a trailer with the ModPack download coming in a few days from now. So keep the notification bell on for that. Now let's dive into the video. Lucy. Oh dear lord, I told you not to stay outside during a thunderstorm. Let's just hope what's inside your container is alright. That's right, there is the global wind. I've seen a mod that goes by the name Immersive Wind, which did a similar thing, which is moving the smoke in the direction of the wind. The difference here is that the global wind is in fact global and will affect everything the same. Entities, items, and even particles will start to drift towards the direction of the wind. And for you, my friend, one jump can mean being pushed to the edge of a cliff, so be careful. Looking at this, two scenarios pop up: 3 hours of building or some sort of new mod. Well, it's neither. This is a tool called Tripo 3D. Using it, you can blockify any image or even ideas through text prompting. Whatever that you choose, the site will start redefying it with high attention to small details and in a very short time frame, after which you'll need to download it and make it into a schematic using the object to schematic website. Grab the file, put it on the .schematic folder, and load it up using the Lichmarica mod. Gone are the days of search and plenish Minecraft for a custom map. With this tool, any wild idea or fantasy can be blockified. You can also use it in survival, as Lichmarica mod specifies how many blocks you need. I'm pretty sure that by now a lot of pictures start to appear in your mind. Whatever it is, unleash it using this tool. Link will be in the description. Alright, I'll need a couple of 1x1s, singular 2x2, and finally a big 4x3 for the ship. Yeah, I think that's about it. Now that I'm done with my paintings, let's talk about the easels I've been using. Those are new blocks found, or more so stolen, from an artist you could find in a new village structure. The easels are game changing in that they allow you to pick the exact size and also the specific type of painting you are looking for. This is wonderful for color and surface match as well. From what you saw in the intro of the first mod, my cat had a little chest equipped on her back. The content of the chest is none of your concern, but the chest itself is. Chested Companions is a mod that will give your pets an extensive storage solution, giving them more purpose and thus making you more likely to grab a pet or two on your way to discovering a certain location or fighting a certain boss even. I did add another mod called Catloof that happened to be compatible with the chest here. As you can see, the cats will now sit in this comfy and loofy position. It doesn't add anything new in particular to the game, but it looks cute and it won't count you as one of the 40 mods we'll showcase today, so don't worry about that. Hello? Anybody there? Seems safe. Let's see what we got here. Infinity Buttons adds the potential to use many new buttons in all kinds of shapes and materials. My favorite part about the mod are the custom buttons like the torch and the bookshelf variants. And I'm pretty sure you'll want to give it a try in your world, cause I'm sure as heck we'll be using it in our initial vanilla ModPack. Earlier on this series we added both Alex's maps and the Naturalist mod, but both had many conflicts with one another. Luckily for us, there's an add-on that makes both mods compatible with one another by removing duplicated mobs and items, making the once separate projects one. This mod will compare the new equipment you looted with the ones you have equipped, lets you find the looted armors more durable, stronger, or just better. In general, you could simply swap them. We had this mod installed in our vanilla ModPack, but for RPG players, this project is just as essential, as you can also compare items in your query slots, which is great if you are using mods such as artifacts. This mod is a can of worms vanilla-wise, so let's first talk about its 4th generation update. The mod includes 6 new structures. You have things like a wooden wagon filled with gold, an abandoned watch shower with a spyglass as a loot, along with workshops such as Lumberjack's cabin. Places like these is where you can get the new items, Which leads us to the second part of the mod. Vanilla Constructs also adds new items, and the vanilla thing about it is that those items are simply an improved version of the base game items. A more efficient axe, a diamond bucket that picks up 3 logs of liquid instead of 1, a redstone wrench that rotates blocks around, and more. Next up, we will be adding the Dynamic Surroundings resource pack. And the reason I did not add ambient sounds or some other general sounds mod is because I do believe that when it comes to these kind of audio features, opinions are kinda mixed. Some prefer a quiet vanilla audio experience, others won't mind some soothing natural sounds. By adding a resource pack, you are now able to switch the sounds back and forth, both the footsteps and the general ambient sounds. So I hope that this makes both parties happy. This mod will add a new craftable item that allows you to inspect and evaluate horses in Minecraft. By default, the mod makes it so that only tamed horses can be inspected, but I'll configure it so that all horses can be inspected. You don't want to waste a warehouse worth of food on a slow horse, so this config may save you resources. Besides, it's a mod pack too. Go on the options and configure it back to normal if that's what you prefer. Continuing on mods that add new items, this one will add an entire wardrobe that can be mobilized and used anywhere. The portable wardrobe, just like vanilla tools and armors, have tiers, leather to diamond. The material of the wardrobe will dictate its capacity. Should it carry 1 armor slot or a whopping 5 armor slots? Forgive my hastiness, I forgot to mention the main functionality of the mod. So it basically makes you able to swap armor sets on the fly. What I love about this mod is that you can now choose a specific armor for a specific occasion. Say you want to go to the nether, fire protection armor set is preferable. You want to dive deep in the ocean, a Churchill Master armor set is good. You want to be comfy boy, a Fox Archer armor set is best. And so on. qraftyfied Structures is a mod pack / data pack that combines most of Crafty's separate mods in one place. The pack adds many cozy structures to explore and even inhabit. I mean, this farm is pretty suitable for long-term playthroughs. Some of Crafty's structures are quite entangled with the rest of the vanilla terrain. You have things like a jungle tree house, which simply uses an existing jungle tree and builds around it. If you ever want to admire simplicity, believe me, it can't get any simpler than this. Illager Invasion is up next, and I found this mod to be the perfect enemy expansion project for a vanilla mod pack such as ours. As the name hints, new members of the raid have been added, some residing in new structures, others will raid villagers, making it quite difficult to claim Hero of the Village title. Amongst the new Illagers are alchemists, bashers, provokers, and a lot more deadly new variants of the Illagers. On the theme of raids, this mod will add a music that begins as soon as you engage in a raid. Now, enough yapping, I'm sure you'll want to hear the music speech free. Here you go. The raids are quite harder now, so it would be disappointing not to have a better reward for the extra work you'll be doing. This mod will give you a new item called the Hero Proof, which you will receive right after finishing off all raiders. This item grants you a Hero Proof effect at all times, so long as you're carrying it in your main hand. This way you balance out the difficulty of the raids with better rewards. You see, I love first person model, I use it very often. But the Deja Vu mod pack, yes, that will be the name, I wanted it to be as close to vanilla as possible. And so, as an alternative, I added another mod called Hold My Items. Now, your hands will no longer disappear the moment you carry anything. They will remain visible and actually carry the item you selected. To enhance the first person experience without necessarily sabotaging familiarity around Minecraft, this mod will be the most distinctive option. I'll teach you not to kill any more innocent dogs, you jerk. Oh no. No. Oof. that was close. But how did I do that? Apart from the fact that revenge is not a good thing, the Up TNT mod will at least make you take revenge safely. This mod is quite of an unusual, yet very needed project. It allows you to pick the TNT up by left-clicking it and hurl it to any direction by right-clicking it in the inventory. You can also light up TNTs in your inventory if you have one in your main hand and a flint and steel item in your offhand. This can make PvP a lot more exciting than ever. This mod is quite enjoyable and also a lifesaver, as you saw in the intro. Earlier in this series, we naturally added Farmer's Delight mod, but the special thing about that mod is that it has add-ons that may as well be mods of their own. For this section, I'm adding 4 add-ons of which, and don't worry, they will only count as only one mod on the list. First add-on will be the Nether patch, introducing more pork meals and extra recipes. Second add-on would be the Ocean patch, expanding upon the fish dishes within the mod. Third one is the Ender patch, keeping you full and delighted even on an empty end dimension. And final add-on will be the Farmer's Structures. The original mod can be puzzling, and some of its equipments are hard to craft early on. So, this add-on will give us a bunch of establishments that come with lots of pans, cooking pads, and many other foods and food equipment to claim. When I was making the ModPack, I thought of 2 options to cover the end, the bitter end and the non-scape mod. But I realized the former is far gone in terms of the vanilla theme and the latter is just too popular. So one project came in perfectly in between, not too popular and also very close to vanilla Minecraft. Despite what you might think, Stellarity doesn't add a single new block to the game, making it eligible to be included here. The mod added a lot of new biomes and structures to the end, improving the color variety and the amount of ecosystems you'll stumble across. It even overhauls the end island and the strongholds as well, which is fabulous as we haven't added any mod that changes set structures before in our series, allowing this mod to blend in seamlessly with the rest of our mods. The one and only backpack mod I decided to add to our ModPack is Bean's Backpacks. The reason being is its multiplayer functionality, allowing you to manually check or steal your friend's backpack. I do believe in the superiority of playing with friends. However, if you enjoy playing alone, this mod will work just as well, making it possible to get extra storage with backpacks that come in different variations. There are material-based backpacks, backpacks that are in the form of decorated pots and cauldrons, and even backpacks that are winged. Incubation is a mod all about eggs. Firstly, it adds this new hen house found in villages, a place where you will find a few nests. Those are new blocks within the mod. These blocks are quite useful as you collect the chicken's eggs. These nests also have a dynamic design that adjusts to how many eggs within them, and so they are visually appealing in addition to being useful too. This mod is wonderful as it also adds new cooking recipes for the eggs, which is terrific given our previously added Farmer's Delight mod. It's as if you are here with me now. God, how could I be such a negligible owner? I can't let that go. I'm bringing you back, Lucy, no matter what it takes. And so Enderverse kept reading and reading. He learned a type of science that was simply forbidden to learn, which is dark magic. Okay, it should work this time. I just need to put Lucy's color on this anchor. Oh, Lucy, you're back. Oh God, I miss you so much. And oh, dang. What's this smell? Your skin color? Well, it didn't smell that good to begin with, so I don't mind it. I guess that short story explains the mod pretty well. A pet dies, the color drops. You put it on a respawn anchor, and it goes back in a zombified state. This mod is quite useful. It makes it possible to recreate spawners elsewhere. All you gotta do is first mine the spawner with a 100% chance of a fragment dropping. You will need 8 of those to create an empty spawner. Looking at it, the mod isn't that overpowered considering the sheer work you need to do to gather 8 fragments. Anyways, after that you need to get an enchantment called the Soul Sealing. Just like the name hints, now you are able to grab the mob's soul and as you may have guessed, these souls can be inserted in an empty spawner to activate it. VillagersPlus adds new professions and workstations to Minecraft. Coming across a village, you may find a villager that sells flowers, for example. This type of professionals reside in greenhouses. There's also the alchemist and his new workstation called the Alchemist Table. We already have a similar profession in vanilla, that being the cleric. However, the cleric doesn't sell you any potion making materials. If anything, he does the opposite, take potion making materials from you. The alchemist, on the other hand, will be trading amulets for those ingredients, directly supporting your brood and witchcraft. You could sell the wares of both of the villagers to each other, which is an easy way to make a quick buck. Bedspreads will allow you to paste banners into beds, which in turn create those wonderful looking beds. I knew of a texture pack called Fancy Beds, which did a similar thing as the design of the beds aligned with the original color. But this pack and the Bedspreads mod are compatible, so you can safely use them both. Ultris boss expansion was simply the most adequate mod for adding new bosses to a vanilla mod pack such as ours. The bosses here are based on vanilla mobs. You have here a Blaze King that shoots fireballs, releases firework explosions, and undergoes few phases amongst other things. I love this mod, and especially the boss music that ensues the battle, and the powerful gear you can get from defeating those bosses. Pack weapon slot will add a single new slot that you can put a certain item on it, be it a sword, a potion, or a totem. When put in this slot, the items can be pulled out on the fly by pressing a certain hotkey. This functionality can be useful when nearing death, when you want quick empowerment, and yes, when you need a specific type of weapon for defensive or offensive purposes. So you need a bane of arthropods or a smiting sword that won't slash any zombie or spider. This mod is great. My only complaint, however, is the visual of the items. A potion, for instance, will look comically large in your back, which can be unappealing at times. Advancement Tracker is a mod that will organize and track tasks for you. This mod is compatible with all of the contest mods we added earlier, making it a decent way to follow through tasks and be reminded of your progress so far. In keeping with the advancement theme, this mod will make it possible to split the effort and the rewards of the advancements with other players on the server. Just choose a set of commands found on the mod's wiki page. As I said throughout the video, I love playing with other people. It feels better and you can get things done a lot more effectively when you are playing on a server, so this mod was a perfect fit in this mod pack. Earlier, we added the Carry On mod, helping you lift chests and mobs alike. AstikorCarts Redux is a mod that will make you able to instead carry a bunch of items, blocks, tools, and even mobs all at once by dragging a cart. The main variants can be strapped to a mule, a donkey, or a horse, and carts such as the plow can facilitate farming, which supports added mods such as Farmer's Delight mod, along with facilitating path making, which will work hand in hand with an upcoming mod on this list. Here I'm once again doing a mod combination and counting it as one mod on the list, that being the Break Free mod and the Multi-Mine mod. One will keep mining the block despite switching tools, and the other will keep the block half mined if you accidentally moved your crosshair to another block. Both mods are highly complementary to vanilla and will lessen anxiety and stress around the basic things like mining blocks. After having exhausted all of my options for the nether, I landed on the Incendium mod. When it comes to the biomes, this mod has nailed it. The author knew exactly how to match the vanilla particles, textures, and overall atmosphere and fog. For the structures, however, they are terrific, make no mistake, but they seem quite large for the vanilla theme. Still, they are made out of VanillaPLUS, so it's not a tragedy after all. Remember how I hinted at the usefulness in streamlining paths a few chapters back? Well, it's about time I explain why. Via Romana is a mod that will make you fast travel through connecting two signs via walking a path between them. You simply need to shift left click a sign, walk on the path that leads to the other settlement, and once you reach that sign, just shift left click it once more and you will have established fast travel between the two locations. Two mods in particular I found to be wonderful with it: the previously mentioned AstikorCarts and the Counter's settlement roads. One will make paths easier to make through plows that can be attached to a horse, and the other will connect every village in the world with paths along with signs too. So this is one simple way to bring your settlements together in a vanilla manner. Panda's extra details add some subtle animations in Minecraft. The door will shut in and open with fluid movements. Some goes to the trapdoor, and signs will tilt, indicating the strength to the wind. Looking back, our mods are coming together perfectly, so let's keep going. This mod will make the Stonecutter a universal workstation, capable of carrying any type of material in Minecraft. This is basic common sense. If this machine can cut through hard stone, it can surely cut through any other material under the sun. Plus, it is convenient, and it even lets you extract raw materials from blocks such as rails. This mod will make the revival of bosses a lot more than just a rematch. Each time a boss is summoned, it will get stronger than last time, up until it becomes an ultimate version of itself. This mod will, once again, help increase difficulty and enjoyment, but in the most basic and VanillaPLUS way possible. This mod will add a working camera to our world. It's easy to use, and you can even store pictures in an album, making your journey here a lot more memorable. I wanted to add exposure mod, but I thought shedding light to these lesser known mods is always a good thing. Instead of adding a grave or corpse mod, I decided to go with the keep some inventory mod. This mod and pack makes it so that when you die, you keep your armors equipped and your weapons on hand. In addition, the items won't spray everywhere as you die. They will instead collide in one block radius, shielding them from any nearby lava lakes or void. There are other small features within the mod, and I thought it would serve our purpose a lot more considering the minimalism of the mod. Earlier we added the Lewine's third-person mod, which allowed smooth movement of the camera and the flexible adjusting of the angle. StepItUp is a mod that will make you skip blocks much like horses. Auto jump is disruptive, and clicking the spacebar is inefficient, so this mod came in between. The catch here is that with the Lewine's third-person mod, the StepItUp mechanism will no longer be abrupt and unappealing. Instead, it will be a smooth process. I'd like to point out that this combination is originally inspired by Asian Housequatch. Witchwix is a little mod adding a few vanilla-friendly features. Due to its tiny size, this mod wasn't hazardous to the ModPack we're making, as it won't conflict with a lot of the mods we added earlier, and even if it did, I'll make sure to configure the mod to fit in with no issues. Rain Particle is a mod that will overhaul the weather visuals in Minecraft, making it less overwhelming and personalizing it based on the biome. The latest version of the mod added even more features, but I won't be adding it to our 1.20.1 version due to many bugs, but rest assured, I'll have a 1.21 version of the ModPack for those interested in newer releases of Minecraft. Thanks for watching. It has been a great series. Subscribe and turn on the bell if this content has been helpful. And apologies for not releasing the ModPack right away. I wanted to make a special trailer alongside it, and also make it the best it can be. With that being said, I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.